Hello, dear listener. I have something truly special to share. It's an exclusive invitation to join me in Mexico for an intimate and luxurious 3-day retreat along the beautiful Pacific coast of Zihuatanejo, taking place the weekend of the spring equinox, March 18th through the 20th. There's also an optional day to stay through the 21st for some special ceremonies that are happening in the area for the equinox. But the retreat itself is the 18th through the 20th, really an opportunity not to be missed. And I'm offering one lucky listener a discounted ticket on this weekend that I've just been loving into being actually for several years now as COVID and, everything. But when we conceived of building this place, our home down here, it's really what we envisioned, bringing people down here for retreats, for trainings, because we felt and we knew that this space was special. And as people keep coming down and we keep getting the feedback, how magical it is, we want to share it in a really intentional way. Be working with the 4 elements, earth, air, fire, water, the metaphors of the season. We'll set sight on a new vision for our mothering journey and creating a deeper connection to self and Mother Nature. So to win a discounted ticket, rate and review this show on Apple Podcasts. Screenshot it and DM it to me on Instagram at Dr. Gertrude Lyons. And remember, the most important thing to mother is yourself. Give yourself permission to take a retreat this year. And besides, who said mothers can't go on a spring break? I'll see you there.
Hello, and welcome to Rewrite the Mother Code. I'm Dr. Gertrude Lyons, a professional life coach, exploring, demystifying, and democratizing the maternal power that lives in all women. The experience of mothering may not necessarily mean what you think it means. I believe that mothering is a vehicle for transformation, whether or not we have children. And together, we can start a new conversation around modern motherhood. On this show, we will redefine what it means to mother and untap the powerful feminine within you. Are you ready to rewrite the mother code? This is a Soulfire production. Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of Rewrite the Mother Code podcast. I'm Dr. Gertrude Lyons, and I could not be more excited and also more grateful for the opportunity to launch this series. I hope it spurs open and real conversations about mothering, and that it's something that leads us all into new and uncharted territory together. One where we can explore and discover and be real with the intention to find personal meaning, to have it be a transformative experience as we carry on and go on this journey together. So it's my intention and vision for this first episode to lay a foundation for our ongoing podcast journey together. So I'd like to kick us off with a few key assumptions that we're going to be exploring and bringing to life for all of you and continued bringing to life for myself. So as I lay these out, take them in, notice, how you feel as you hear them. Notice what reactions you're having and just be with them as I share them. So the first one is, mothering is a vehicle for personal and global transformation if we let it be. It isn't something that just happens. It is something we have to consciously choose. But it's also something I believe we are all wired and have the capacity and the desire to do and to go for. The second and possibly most disruptive concept we're going to be digging into is this: all women mother. All women conceive, create, and give birth. Yes, to children, but also to ideas, to dreams, to careers, to relationships. All women mother. And the third, and I believe most important, but most overlooked and probably most difficult one to not believe, but to actually put into practice, is that the most important person we need to mother is ourselves. I think hearing that, it's pretty easy to get that, oh, yeah, I know that, but doing it, a whole nother story, right? So those are 3 key assumptions. Now that I've said them, kind of reflect and think about, look at, take a moment and notice, what did you feel? What are you feeling as you explore mothering as a vehicle for transformation? All women mother. We're all on a mothering continuum. And the most important person we need to mother is ourselves. So take a deep breath. We're going to explore those a little bit here in this first episode, and then obviously much, much more as we're on our journey throughout this podcast series. So what does it mean to rewrite the mother code? So this has been a beautiful journey for me, one that I didn't even know I started when my husband and I, first articulated that, yes, we knew we wanted to have children together. So we'll explore pieces of that. But right now, like to really look at, what does this mother code mean? And, this journey has taken me many, many directions, many places. But it's really when I, did my dissertation and my work in my doctorate on mothering. And I have a whole personal story that goes along with that I can't wait to share with you all. But in that, what I discovered was that there are myths and mistaken beliefs surrounding mothering that we really need to disrupt, to break up. And in order to do that, I want to look at it, and we're going to be looking at it from 3 perspectives. The first one is our childhoods. So we're all encoded as children from even preconception. There's studies and research showing that the atmosphere that, your mother and father, our mother and fathers are in preconception are already beginning to wire us. And then conception, and then pregnancy, and then our upbringing all have encoded wiring. And even with the best of intentions from our caregivers, we are going to have mistaken beliefs. We are going to have beliefs about the concept of mothering and what that's going to mean in my life, but also how I was mothered. So how I was mothered is going to lay that foundation. And I might then be reactive about how that was. Or I might think like, that was great, and I'm just going to do it all the same way. Why not? Well, we're going to look at and talk about why not, and why it's important to look at, no matter what experience we had, what that meaning was to us and how it's informing the choices and decisions that we think we're making consciously, but we're really not. So then the second area that we're going to explore and really dig into is how we're wired culturally. So mothering exists in this moment in time in a cultural context. So whether we like it or not, we are following, and whether it's regarding choices around having children, choices about raising children, choices about how I mother all the aspects in my life, we are being inundated with messages and voices from our culture about what's right, what's okay, what you should and shouldn't do. And they're very profound. So the more we really explore and look at those, so we can choose for ourselves, and we can choose and get back in touch with, what is really meaningful to us. And we can read things and hear things from family and friends about our choices, and really stand true and firm within ourselves in order to respond, in order to take in and really hear what they have to say and decide what we want to do with that information. Hi, I'm so excited to share with you my 2024 Spring Equinox Self-Mothering Retreat that's happening this March 2024. And I would love for you not only to consider it, but to attend. But in considering it, hey, just knowing that you would be leaving cold weather, if that's the space that you're in, and coming down to just magnificently beautiful, warm, nourishing place of Zihuatanejo, Mexico. Zihuatanejo meaning land of the goddess women. And coming to really take time for yourself, okay? And that I am learning more and more isn't just a nice thing to do or something extravagant or something selfish. It's essential. And I really want you to take it seriously, to consider, just think about what would it take for me to go. It's a 5.5-day retreat, getting from where you are, getting there, landing there, and then being in a space that is all about you. It's all about nourishing you. It's all about tuning into you, using everything around us, the nature, the food, the beautiful people, the rituals, ceremonies. I bring it, we really bring it. And we go deeper and deeper as the days go on, and we release, we let go, we bring in what is nourishing, what is empowering, what is that space of just really divine feminine energy. And we do it in the community of women. It's not for everyone. I will be honest, if that idea of leaving and not making it work, or it's just too hard, not for you. If the idea of, spending that amount of time inwardly focused and going to that level of self-awareness doesn't sound like something you're willing to do or put the time and energy into, then it's not for you. And it's good to know that, right? So this is for people who are serious about what it means to mother themselves, what it means to take time for ourselves, and that gift and what that gift can bring to us. It was originally right after my fall retreat. It filled right up, but now some people, it turns out, are not able to come. So I do have a handful of openings. And if you're listening to this and you're willing to take that step, please reach out to me. We can do a discovery call, or you can put a deposit down. I would love that. And you can do that by going to my website, www.drgertrudellyons, DrGertrudelYons.com. Go to events, and there you go. It'll all be there. There's a beautiful page there for you to explore. I look forward to hearing from you and then seeing you on my spring retreat. And then thirdly, I call it the cosmic area, but it is this redefining what mothering is and what's possible in mothering. And as I put it out as an assumption in the beginning, that really is expanding the definition, broadening our concept, our view of what mothering is and what it can mean to me. And by expanding that definition into we all mother, and that the most important person we need to mother is ourselves, we can then, connect more deeply with ourselves, with the community of women, with the community of mothers, which is all of us, and really find within it the profound and possible support that is there for us all. The positive energy that we can give and receive that in our current culture is pretty limited. We're all pretty scared as women in this whole arena of mothering. And we really want to do it right. And we really want to make right choices. And, when others question that, or other women question that, or sometimes we even, and I've done this, put down other women's choices in order to validate my own. So we really want to, be truthful. We want to go into and expand this definition, expand what's possible. So why do this? Why, what do I want to do that for? It's just, I just think that, having a child or not having a child is what's going to bring me happiness. What do I have to dig into it any further than that? Well, you don't. But the exploration we're going to go on is more about what if we do, and what is some of the richness that can come to us if we decide to go on this journey personally and collectively in this deeper exploration. I often use a metaphor of looking at our conscious choices and our unconscious choices through the metaphor of the iceberg. and that's not my personal metaphor, that came from Sigmund Freud, where he was really in the forefront of us, look what it means to look into our unconscious. And I love the iceberg metaphor because it's so powerful, because what we see above the surface and what we're used to looking at and seeing is that 10% of the iceberg that's above the surface, and 80 to 90% of it's under the surface. And that's where the real power is. But that's all in our unconscious. So, whether we decide to put a snorkel and mask on or full diving equipment, the deeper we dive into that unconscious and discover aspects of ourselves that, we've blocked away or if we've kept hidden for probably very good reasons at a time in our life. But the more willing we are to dive into those waters and explore those spaces, the discoveries are beautiful. So if you think about a body of water and looking at it from the surface, but there's a whole nother universe under there. And that's the universe we're going to discover as we look at tools and examples and possibilities. We're going to be, talking with women who've gone on this journey. I'm going to share my own personal journey that has had some of this transformational aspect to it, and also where I've wandered from the path, where I have lost myself and didn't stay true to the transformational path, and the regrets and remorse I have because of that. And it's out of actually that regret and remorse that I'm here today on this podcast, because it set me on a whole huge journey for myself of reclaiming this aspect for myself and choosing to get back on this journey and mother myself through giving birth to the work I did in my dissertation and this research and this possibility for myself and other women that I am raising and mothering, and now, really turning myself inside out on my own personal journey with it. So I'll be sharing that. I'll be sharing and, bringing guests on that, as I said, will be sharing their journey, but also my teachers along the path and people who've inspired me and have brought new aspects and learnings and teachings that I never would have known had I not gone on this journey. Another aspect that always weaves itself into it pretty explicitly and profoundly for me is an external journey that I take every year, which is to go on pilgrimage. And it's a place that a time and a place that I set aside for my own, reflection, for my own going inward, for my own getting out of my routine in life and getting also really out of my comfort zone and going into places and spaces of deep exploration that have brought, messages and meaning and directed me in my path. And it's been a big part of my mothering journey. And I'm really excited and grateful for the opportunity that I'm going to have to share that and to explore it more, because in our sharing together, in our being together in these questions in this journey, the things from our past, the things now are going to have new meaning. And I know they're going to have new meaning for me as I'm exploring them. And I want every aspect of the journey you decide to go on in your mothering exploration to have deepened and continuing yearning for yourself. So I want to underline a little bit more about why I think this is important. I've said that I believe it's important for us to, and I think worthwhile for us to go on our personal exploration and journey, because I have seen in my coaching and the training I've had and the facilitating, I've seen the transformation and the power and the possibilities and meaning that it's brought for the people that have decided to go on this journey. But I don't think that's enough. And I don't want it to be enough. I want it because it matters. And I think us having lives that are fulfilling and beautiful really does matter. But it has a global implication. It has a global implication from the standpoint that our world is really, really needs more mothering. There's a lot of places that it's not getting tended to. And until we go inside and start tending to ourselves, we really can't truly tend to what's needed to be tended to in our planet. And I believe that this journey It really, truly is a courageous one for us to be on, but it's also one that is going to have implications for generations. If you have children, it's going to have implications for your children and your children's children. We can stop patterns. We can stop family patterns, whether we have children or not, that have been longstanding and ongoing disruptive patterns that have really been hurting us and are having implications for our lives and for our world. And I really want us to be able to make authentic choices and to really have them come from deep within inside so that we see what it takes and what it means to live truthfully, to live from abundance and from the choices of abundance. So that's my vision. This is what I think is possible. I know that it's going to be a wild ride. It already has been for me. And I know it won't be easy. And I don't expect it to be comfortable. I'm not comfortable right now. I'm excited and I'm grateful for the opportunity, but I'm definitely not comfortable. And I don't think any of us should be. Do I think we should have peace? Do I think we should have bliss and beautiful moments? Yes, but those come from touching the painful and sorrowful, angry and fearful places within inside us, that we can't have one without the other. And so this journey and this lens that we're going to be exploring ourselves through in mothering, I think is a really primal, ancient, profound, and universal one that we're going to go on together. So I think that pretty much covers what we're going to be looking at. I look forward to hearing from you, leaving comments, bringing your questions to what this podcast could be, and us really going on the journey together. And I look forward to being back again in our next episode. Thank you so much for listening to the show. If you love this episode, please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe so that you can stay on the journey and continue to hear more about rewriting your mother code.